Going well. Should be. Um, yeah, we're we're live. Sorry about that. I'm just changing the spacing a little bit or the background because on the one side it's too sunny, too hot to be there, and in this room it's I'm in the shade, but it gets blurry, so it's kind of maybe not the best background at the moment for you. So I'm just being here like with a plain white one. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, I promised yesterday one of our regular members, chat members, Justin, asked to have a asked me to go on a walk and show you folks around, and I said I would do it, but unfortunately I got up quite late for that to happen. I got up at around 7ish, a little before 7, and I did not have enough time to do the live. Then I would need to get up at least half an hour earlier, so I'll try to do that next time. So sorry, Justin, but yeah, now if I go out, there's not going to be enough time for a live, or I would be out for maybe just 20 minutes because when I'm at home, I can just turn on the live, obviously, whenever. But if I go outside, I can't turn it on right away because here it's okay, like in the right in front of the building. But then when I start walking, there's going to be construction, and that's going to be too loud for me to talk. And so I would need to pass the construction part and then come to the area where there's, you know, more do the live. So that wasn't possible to this morning, but hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get up earlier and show you folks around, and yeah, hopefully that will do it. Yeah, thank you for the likes, by the way, and feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, questions, anything in the chat, obviously. Um You have an amazing eyes. Sorry for interrupting, says Nicolo Paganini. Thank you. I'm probably squinting more than I would usually because I woke up like an hour ago. So my apologies for that. But yeah, thank you for the comment. So yeah, feel free. I was just gonna mention a few things that might or might not interest people, but if anybody has any like topics that you would like us to discuss, any questions, observations, feel free to leave those in the chat, and yeah, we'll go over them. And I was just gonna mention because usually that's what I talk about. If nobody has anything special they would like to ask, I would pick a topic, and one of the frequent topics that I choose would be fitness and exercise and things in that domain, since I was at one point a fitness instructor, and also I enjoy it. So for the topic of today that I just wanted to mention was for depending on what you're doing, so hypertrophy, if that is your goal, or losing weight, obviously any kinds of exercises are going to be good. But Drip here with a comment. Thank you for commenting. But yeah, I would say, yeah, when you look at that word in the English language, what it meant before would mean nice or kind. So I would say thank you. Yeah, but thank you for commenting as well. So yeah, basically, whatever the goal is, I would say that using or integrating cardio in your workouts is a necessity for your longevity and for your overall health. And that can be a bit difficult if it's hot, like it is, for example, here. It's summer, it's really, really hot. So doing cardio at the gym might be boring, but there's ways to fix that. If you're doing cardio in the gym, I would say, you can do exercises that you enjoy, anything that you like, and just switch them. So like you don't need to run on a treadmill for 30 minutes. You can just cut that to maybe 10 and then go on a rowing machine if you have that, or a stepper or anything. So you can switch like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, to make it just a bit more interesting, and the time could pass a bit quicker. If you're doing it outside, all kinds of stuff, fun stuff that you can do. So sports, basketball, football, all of that, if you have friends to organize with and do cardio that way, which is the most fun if you ask me. But if not, then yeah, running, swimming, all that. But try and stay hydrated. If it's too hot, then yeah, try and be mindful of that as well. Okay, let's see what Bay here has to say. I'm fifth generation American. My mom didn't. Oh, okay. So, okay, Bay. Thank you for the comment. I think that's sharing a bit too much, if you ask me. So, but yeah, people might reply to you and might agree or disagree. But yeah, we don't do that here, so I wouldn't know how to comment for you on that. But yeah, okay. Thank you for commenting nonetheless. So yeah, doing cardio is really important, whatever it is that you're doing, and it helps also. If you do a lot of cardio, it can help with losing weight. If you are doing just enough, it can help with building muscle as well. So if you don't want to, for example, lose weight, if you just want to build hypertrophy and you're not that interested in cardio, you can do sprinting, which helps you build muscle, but also gives you the cardio that you need, and it's pretty quick. So you can't do that for a very long time. You do just like 6 to 10 sprints, and you're good. So there's a quick fix for that. Theralizer, I remember you, my man, from that we have a few days ago. I think you were in the chat, and I had a problem pronouncing your name then, and I do have it now. So my apologies for that. But says, "Yo, bro, remember me?" So yeah, I would say yes. So thank you for commenting, and welcome back to the chat. I will just, if anybody has any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to leave them, obviously. And if not, I'll just continue a little bit talking about this. So cardio is not just good for the things that I mentioned and the obvious, of course, cardiovascular system. It also helps with your VO2 max, which is very important for your longevity, but also for the way that you train. So it can influence how much your lung capacity or how good your lung capacity is, how much air you can filter in and out, and it can help you with your workouts in general as well. So someone who has a good cardio can have a better workout than someone who just lifts weights. Obviously, if you just lift weights, you can get the aesthetic that you need, but it might not be the optimal one for your longevity, for your health, which should be calculated. You should calculate your longevity into the whole math when you want even just to have good looks, meaning physical. Spirometry. So yes, you can use spirometry to test your lung capacity. That's true. You can get a small device to do that. You just blow on it and you test it that way, or at a doctor's office. Either way, but it's you don't need to test it that much unless you're having issues. In general, just doing enough cardio daily or weekly, depending on how you want to do it. Obviously, for example, if you're using sprinting in your cardio, then you are not going to do it every day because it's too taxing on your body. But if you're walking, for example, then you can do that every day, and that's just up to you what's the ideal way for you to do cardio. What if you're over 50? So excellent question. You can, for example, so for whatever, it depends on what you like doing. That's the first thing. So I wouldn't advise you to do something that you really hate, because then you're not going to be able to do it repeatedly over time. So that's one thing. But I'll give you a few things that are really good for people over 50, and then you can choose between them, or you can mix. You can one day do this, next day maybe do that. So here we go. And if you like, you can tell me also what your goal is. So is it just to improve like overall health? Is it to lose weight? Is it to gain muscle mass, strength, anything? And let me know, and I'll get into more details. But in general, for people that are over 50, for cardio, you could go for a walk. That's really good. And you can do it obviously by yourself. That's one thing. You can do it with your friends. If you don't have a lot of time, you can incorporate it when you're doing groceries, stuff like that. So muscle mass and losing weight. Okay, excellent. Love the challenge. So walking will not build toward muscle mass. It can help you get a bit leaner. It can help you lose weight, definitely. And walking is good to incorporate with workouts, but just solely walking will not help you gain muscle mass. That's the important thing. However, walking is really great to help build your joints, to help you lose weight. So you should incorporate that if your goal is also to lose weight. And it's great because you can do it like, as I said, if you don't have a lot of time, then you go grocery shopping or paying your bills or whatever else. You walk there, you walk to the store instead of going by car or bus, and you can already get those steps in. You basically don't need those 10,000 steps a day, which is the usual that people say, but you can go towards that. You definitely will feel better if you walk a lot every day. You'll feel better, like not just physically but emotionally. Sorry, and I'm listening to you, but what about Tai Chi walking? I hear a lot about this. I'm very glad that you asked this question. So firstly I'll answer the Tai Chi thing, and then I'll go back to what I was gonna say. So thank you. Yeah, no problem. Of course, you're most welcome. So Tai Chi walking and Tai Chi in general. Tai Chi, let's address first Tai Chi. Tai Chi is like a genuine thing that people can do. And it can help like relax people because there's a lot of like breathing techniques, and you're going through the movements, and so it could stimulate you to be more relaxed, and if you enjoy it, that's great. However, Tai Chi walking will not get you to be shredded. It will not help you with building muscle mass. It will not get you to where you. I've seen those ads. There's a lot of them. And unfortunately, they are sorry, AI. They are AI generated, and they have ridiculous claims. So they would say that Tai Chi walking is for people over 50, and that it's going to do miracles in 3 weeks, in 4 weeks, something like that. Those are insane claims that they are advertising, and they are just trying to get people's money out of their pockets. So I would say do not, listen to that advice from those YouTube advertisements advertising Tai Chi walking, Tai Chi movements, all of that. It's a big scam basically, and that's why I laughed out loud. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Exactly. So it's a great question, and yeah, it's definitely not something that people should. My connection broke, and now we're back. So yeah, that's basically the main thing. Tai Chi walking, not a good thing. I mean, Tai Chi in general, sure, but the just the those ads, no good. What's going on, brother? No commentary. Says hello there. Thank you for joining us. We're just talking about exercises, activity, and what people over 50 years old can do for their health, losing weight, gaining muscle mass, stuff like that. But if you have any other topics, comments, questions, feel free to leave them in the chat, and we'll discuss those as well. So getting back just to the first, by the way, thank you all for liking the video and for subscribing. That helps me a lot and means a lot for the channel, helps it grow. So thank you very much. Well, thank you. Yeah, you're most welcome. Obviously, I'm real glad to talk about these things, and glad I can help when I can. So yeah, how you would gain muscle mass and lose weight at the same time, it is possible. It's not the most. People usually just focus on first on one thing and then on the other, but you can absolutely gain muscle mass, because if you have fat stores, the fat will be burned, but also more muscle will be created. So also your weight, if you're overweight, that weight, it's difficult to carry, so your muscles then need to work when you're doing movements. And someone who's, for example, doing push-ups that's overweight, they are obviously going to build more muscle than someone who is lighter weight than them and doing the same exercise doing push-ups. So that's the positive thing there. I do have a question later when you get a chance. Is it still logical to use pyramids when you're working out at over 50? Also, great question. I'll get to that in just a sec. So thank you for that question as well. Basically, so you want to introduce cardio. Vikha is here. Hello, nice to see you again. Thank you for joining us. Boxing is great for weight loss. Says no commentary. Yes, boxing is great. I would not advise like sparring and all that for people that are over 50 maybe, because you don't want blows to your head. But in general, like maybe light sparring or just hitting the punching bag is great. However, it also depends on your joints, because with boxing, if you're punching the heavy bag, you might have like wrist problems, especially for people that did it for a long time, or people that are, again, a bit older. So you should watch out for that. Hello, my name is V. Thank you for joining us once again, V. Great to see you here. So thank you for being with us. But yeah, boxing, you can do it, but watch out for your wrists. And if you don't have any issues with your wrists, then yeah, you can do like light sparring, punching the heavy bag, things like that are good for boxing. Definitely great cardio. Other forms of cardio, riding a bike, we mentioned walking, swimming, perfect, because it works almost all of your muscles in your body, and it's very light on your joints. When I say light on your joints, I mean for people that walk or even running even more damaging to the joints, because there's more pressure on them. And when you're swimming, there's almost no pressure on those joints, so it's much better for you that way. Plus, it helps you with normalizing your breathing and all kinds of other things as well. So if you can go swimming, that's perfect for that. It can help you tone muscles as well. What is your name? Asks V. My name is David. So thank you for asking V, and nice to meet you. Now for building muscle, and here like I'm glad also that we're having nice suggestions from the chat. So for example, no commentary mentioned boxing, great one for cardio. For building muscle, I've heard that with swimming, and gosh, I just hate swimming lots. That's okay. uh, um, that's fine. If you don't like swimming, there's other exercise. So walking, riding a bike, boxing sometimes, sure. If you like that, definitely. If you like boxing, you can do it in a safe way. Then there's different types of sports that you might rowing, for example. But it depends. If you don't like water, maybe then stay away from rowing, and then doing like rowing, kayaking, all that stuff. Cycling. Then there's hiking, which is also obviously a form of walking, but more difficult. I would say if you're walking, it's good to be on an uneven terrain because it helps your body adjust for the imbalances. And it's great that you have like a bit of a, steeper climb. So definitely, like if you just, let's say, it depends on how much you weigh and all that, but just approximately, if you would just, for example, walk, they always say 10,000 steps, so let's go with that. You walk approximately 10,000 steps a day, you'll burn approximately 600 calories just from that. So that deals with that issue. I do like boxing, so I think that's what I'll try. Definitely give it a go. And I would suggest incorporating two more things with the boxing. Because V says, hello, I'm 10 and I'm a student. Very nice to meet you, V. What is your favorite subject? Let us know. So to mention, boxing is great, but bear in mind that hate it. Says, okay. So if you're trying boxing, bear in mind, or any kind of sport like that, bear in mind that at first, whatever you're trying, it's going to be difficult and it's going to give you more like soreness, all that. So you should know that you should get through it, or you will get through it eventually. And after maybe a month or two, it will get much easier. But you should have that in mind that it's going to be tough at first. If you push through it, it's going to become much easier and nicer later on. However, don't try and push yourself too hard. So give your body time to recover, to rest, and also try and incorporate other things with your workouts. So for example, boxing, let's say if you have time. So this is like an ideal case scenario. At first, 2 times a week, depending on if you're going to the boxing gym or if you have like a punching bag at home or if you're doing like shadow boxing or whatever. So about 2 times a week. Every day you should do some sort of a movement. So walking, cycling, we said swimming is off the table, so maybe yoga, anything. Just keep your body moving every day. So 2 times a week, some boxing, let's say, or whatever activity you enjoy. Then we would have every day some type of movement. more and more movement always good, and essential for muscle mass and for keeping bones, your bone density at a healthy level or having healthy bones. It's essential to do some sort of weightlifting, be it by lifting really like weights or doing weightlifting with your like body. So body weight exercises like push-ups, squats, stuff like that. V says, where are you from? I am from Vietnam. Very nice for your, sorry, thank you for sharing that, V, and very nice to meet you. I am from a country in Southeast Europe called Serbia. So very nice to meet you, V. Thank you for sharing that with us. So yeah, some sort of weightlifting. You would need lighter weights at first if you're just getting started. So I do yoga on Mondays. Excellent. So yoga on Mondays, and any activity throughout the week, whatever it is. I would say walking is the easiest one to do, but if you like others, then do those. So movement is essential, and 2 or 3 times a week. So we said two times a week boxing. That covers your movement for those 2 days, obviously as well. You have yoga. That's also 3 days covered for movement. Then you need 4 more days of something. Walking, running I wouldn't suggest at the moment, but later on if you really enjoy running, then yeah, you can do it. But any kind of aerobics, any kind of cardio, definitely a good important thing. And at least 2 or 3 times a week doing some sort of weightlifting. So be it with the actual weights or with your body weight. It depends on how easy it is for you to do some things. But for example, if your maximum, let's say, is doing 12 squats, like body squats, if that's your maximum, don't push it to your maximum, but do it like 9 squats. So 3 reps in reserve, basically. You do that, you rest, you repeat. So you want, when you're working on your muscle mass, when you're doing the training with whatever, body weight, with weightlifting, so when you're doing your strength training, you want it to be about an hour long, and you don't want too much rest. Like, for example, if you do, as we said, 9 squats, you don't want to wait 10 minutes before you start your next squat session. So you want a couple of minutes rest and then doing either squats again or a different type of exercise. Push-ups, you can do, for example, if you cannot do a normal push-up, you can do an assisted push-up. That means being like in a push-up position, but your knees are touching the ground as well. So you are basically on all fours, your knees are on the ground, and then you're going into the push-up like that. That is an assisted push-up, and that helps you do it much easier. The reason why push-ups are great, for example, is because you can change the way your chest is activated just based on where your hands are. So if my hand is lower, like here, then it's going to activate the lower part of your chest more. If your hands are higher, it's going to hit the upper part of your chest. Then you can go with your hands close, like this. They can be far, wide, and you can hit different muscles, different chest muscles that way. So that's just push-ups. With anything else, lunges, and I'm just now talking about body weight exercises. However, if you are going to the gym, then there's all kinds of exercises you can do there, but start with light weights. The important thing is that you're working, that you're making progress bit by bit. You don't want it to do it too much all at once, because then you're going to have too many sore muscles, too strong, and you might even invoke some injuries. So we want to prevent that, and we want to take it slow. But be consistent. Being consistent is the most important thing. So being active throughout the week, doing 2 or 3 times a week, like some body weight or lifting sessions, so strength exercises, and then doing, we said boxing maybe twice a week, and doing yoga would be like a perfect case scenario. Obviously, it's not just down to exercises, although that really helps. Also, there's the case for the dieting, what kind of a diet you would need. So cutting down maybe depends on what your diet is now, but maybe you would want to cut down on some extra calories and put more maybe protein. So focus more on protein and fiber and less on carbs. That's just a general suggestion. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for the likes and for the nice questions and the conversation. Always happy to talk with you folks. Unfortunately, I'll have to go now because I'll be late otherwise. But looking forward to seeing you all again. And thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you again. Take care and have a good one. Bye.